Hi, welcome to insPAWed. I'm Cindy Morgan, and this is my four-legged co-host, Nigel. And this show celebrates the pets who inspired their purpose and the paths that followed. Today's guest is Lin O'Neil-Clark from LinSynergy. Welcome, Lin.
Thank you, Cindy. It's nice to be here.
Wonderful. During the pandemic, Lin faced a life-changing decision. Return to work or stay home with her aging dog, Rue. As Rue developed Sundowners and needed her more than ever, Lin chose Rue.
I did.
That choice became a defining moment rooted in love, presence, and honoring the bond we share with our animals. Today, Lin continues that journey with Merlin, carrying forward Rue's legacy. Again, thank you for coming and telling this important story of your journey. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. It's definitely a story of love, a little bit of loss, and a lot of renewal.
Exactly. So tell us about your pet that inspired your journey and decisions from Rue to Merlin.
Okay, so Rue is my soul dog, and Rue did pass. She passed in 2023.
Yep.
But as you know, every now and then there's a dog that just comes and speaks to your heart. And that's the dog that lives in your heart forever.
Yes.
That was Rue. When the pandemic happened, I was told that I could return to work, or if I didn't return to work in the office, that I was going to lose my job. My husband and I had a very long discussion about it. And the discussion we had was how much was it going to cost for daycare for Rue? And how much was it going to cost for me to commute to the office? The office had moved. It was no longer in North Andover. And we just kind of thought, she's been here for us through all our trials and tribulations in life. It was not the time to abandon her in her time of need.
So how old was Rue at this time?
She was in 2023. 2023. It was April 29th. It was yesterday.
Oh,
that was my
goodness.
3-year liberation.
Wow.
So it was 2023 that I made the decision not to return to the office. And she died December of 2023.
Oh, my goodness. And how old was she?
15 and a half.
15 and a half.
15
wow.
and a half.
And what breed is Rue?
Rue was a Brittany Spaniel.
Oh, okay, a Brittany Spaniel.
Full of sass, smarts, and attitude.
Yeah. So you're right. So they're always there for us, and you came to a decision point of, we got a real problem here, right? Yeah. I mean, how easy was that decision, and how hard was the decision all at the same time?
Well, you know, financially, thankfully, I have a husband that is excuse me. I have a husband that is very grounded, very financially savvy. Yep. He's had me enrolled in my 401ks, and he always made sure I did the right things, because I'm somebody that's like up here, and I kind of need somebody to ground me and pull me back down to earth now and then.
Yes, I get it.
So thankfully, my husband did that for me. And then we had a serious discussion about what would it cost for me to stop working outside the home.
Right.
And, you know, decisions were made. You know, we love to travel. We love to go on great trips. And, you know, the decision was made that, you know, that's going to be put on hold for a little while because first of all, financially, and second of all, because, you know, it's Rue's turn. We need to take care of Rue.
Right.
So we did that, and, you know, who knew the lesson in all this is how much you really live life when you don't have the stuff and you're not always chasing the next unicorn.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. How long were you in the corporate sector?
30 years.
Right. 30 years. It's a lot of, you know, I just retired, 35 years in the corporate world. Yeah. It's a lot of conditioning, programming, conditioning, you know, and that's a shift in itself too, and a scary leap in a lot of ways, even though your heart's like fully there. But yeah, right, that presents a lot of different
It was a scary leap, and I'm so glad I took it for Rue's benefit. But also for mine, because I feel like I grew so much just by, I was spending too much of my life just working and trying to get all the things done and be all that I could be. And, being a woman, I feel like it's always, you got to do everything backwards and heels. And, it was a good life lesson for me to slow down, stop.
A hidden gem behind it all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have seen that. You're just like, hey, I'm going to be there for Rue, and then there's these other layers that are happening behind the scenes, which is beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
So you left your job in April, and Rue passed away in December.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, honestly, what a hardship. I'll say this from a whole different angle. What a hardship. Children being sick is a horrible hardship as well. Mm-hmm. But the business world can relate to that and help.
That's right.
The corporations, business world, I mean, honestly, not to be fresh, but 9 out of 10 could care less.
That's right.
That your pet is sick, you got a puppy, and make accommodations for you. Mm-hmm. So pet parents are struggling with what to do when you have an ailing dog, and bringing in a sitter. Not everybody wants to sign up to take care of, never mind they don't want to sit your dog on a regular day, healthy, but when you have an ailing dog. So what challenge was that for you behind the scenes?
To me, it was actually a labor of love. So there was, once the decision was made that I was staying home, there was no looking back. It was something I was happy and honored to do. I know that we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but I've been a Reiki master since 1998. And Rue really brought that back out in me, because while I was doing it, I wasn't doing it as often. And in her younger years, when she was healthy, she didn't want any part of it. She's like, Mom, I'm fine. Go away. You're bothering me. Meanwhile, I had another dog at the time, and his name was Pooh Bear. So I had Pooh and Rue.
Yeah, Pooh and Rue.
And Pooh Bear was a Great Dane and a Lab. So he was 120 pounds
oh,
of,
my
hello.
Goodness. I had a Great Dane. I don't think we've ever talked about this.
I don't think we have. And Pooh Bear was the kind of dog that loved Reiki. He loved me putting crystals on him. I'll have to see if I can find a picture, because I literally have him from top of his head to the base of his tail, or the base of his spine, rather.
Yes, yeah.
With all the crystals lined up, and he's just laying there like, okay, Ma, this is cool.
I love that.
But as Rue started to decline in age, then Rue would proactively ask for Reiki. And for those that don't necessarily understand how a dog would ask for Reiki, what they do is, especially when your mommy's a Reiki master, you kind of know the drill. But again, she was never interested in it in the past. So what she would do is I would just kind of move my body like this, and I would just kind of put my hands out like this, and I would say, if you want some Reiki, you just got to come here. And she would get between my legs, and then she would move my hands where she wanted them. Yep. And we would just stay as long as she wanted.
So if she wanted like the front shoulders, of course she's going to move her body that way, right?
She did.
She wants her rump area.
She'd either come in this way, or she'd back in, or she'd maneuver herself so that she was getting the Reiki where she wanted it. Now, for those that don't know, Reiki goes where it needs to go. So that there's that, but dogs have a way of letting you know where they want it. And even at Wolfstock last year, when I was doing Reiki on the dogs, they would come up, and some of them would put their paw on me, some would back in, some would come on my lap. It doesn't matter. It's what's comfortable for them.
And take a moment to explain to the viewer or the listener what Reiki is.
Okay, well, Reiki is it's source, it's energy. And what I do is I'm holding space for you, but I work as the conduit. So the Reiki flows through me and in my hands, and that is how I am getting the Reiki to you or Nigel. Actually, Nigel had a little Reiki this morning.
Look at him with his bone now. He's like, could care less about anything.
Yeah, he could care less about anything. But yeah, and what happens is you typically go into depending on the person, not everybody's the same. Most people go into a meditative state and they relax. Right. And when they get into that meditative relaxation state, that allows their body to start healing. So your body's healing itself. I'm just helping it out because I'm using the universal life energy, getting it to your body, and then the Reiki goes where it needs to go.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So you're home with Rue. And what moment made you realize your pet had sparked something bigger?
I really think it was more after she left. And what I mean by that is because having the honor, and it was an honor, to be with her in her last few months on the face of this earth, I really saw how much it helped her. I saw just the benefits that she was receiving. And also during that time, it was April 29th, I left my corporate job. I want to say it was May of 2023.
Yep.
I had my first end-of-life doula client.
Oh, yeah, so we got a whole other segment of you.
So It was interesting because my client would ask me about Rue because she knew that Rue wasn't doing well.
Yep.
And I would share with her that, Rue gets Reiki, and that sparked an interest in my client about Reiki. And it was a good conversation. She felt comfortable enough to receive the Reiki. She loved the Reiki. And I think, too, that she liked having a conversation. As an end-of-life doula, a lot of our conversations are more about, what are your final wishes and holding space for people and, those types of conversations. And
you're not having those with a pet, right?
Yeah,
an animal.
and the client and I were having more discussions about, how is Rue doing today? And, did Rue get her Reiki today? And it was good because it was a distraction for the client.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it was good for Rue because, I was home and I was able to take care of her and, as I said, be with her until her last breath.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That really is. What's one lesson your pet has taught you that shows up in your everyday life?
Unconditional love, for sure. There is nobody that loves you like your dog.
I know. Your pet thinks you're like the best thing on the planet.
My husband loves me to death, and I love him to death, but let me tell you something.
Yeah, this is a whole different category. I get it.
The dog loves me regardless if I bring home snacks or not.
Leave a minute. It's been like a week you've been gone. Where's the bed? I know. I love it. It's so true. Oh, and to experience that unconditional love is such a gift, right?
Yes,
it's such a gift. I just I love that. How has your pet helped you connect with customers? Because we've talked about Reiki, end-of-life doula, and then that spreads out to community. So talk about that a little bit.
In terms of...
So how has Rue inspired you? And I want you to talk about Merlin.
Okay.
Because Merlin is now...
Merlin is
your sidekick.
He is my sidekick. Yes.
He's helping in a whole different way in this journey of Lin. So let's talk about that.
So we'll talk a little bit about how Merlin came to be.
Yes, how did Merlin come to be?
So we have used an animal communicator.
Okay.
And we have used Ginger Hendry. She's a local woman. She's actually out of Tewksbury.
Yep.
And when Rue passed, of course, I wanted to, Mama Bear, I wanted to know that my baby was okay.
Yep.
My baby is okay. But my baby also knew Mama needs.
Yeah, you're a dog mom's a dog mom, a cat mom, whatever
it is.
Right?
Yes. And my husband and I were not in a rush to get another dog. We wanted to mourn our Rue. And it just so happened that we were looking on Pet Finder, looking on Pet Finder. And we saw a dog, and her name was Molly. And, she was the right size. I have to be careful. I have some physical limitations, and I can't really handle a dog that's much over 20 pounds in terms of lifting and, maneuvering in and out of the car and things like that. So we decided that a 20-pound dog would probably be good.
Yep.
It's funny, both of us had said no Chihuahuas. How'd that work out? But anyway, so we found this picture of Molly, and we contacted the agency and said, we'd like to know more about her. we passed all the checks and balances, flying colors, no problem. We were all set to adopt her and send the money in to send her up from Texas. But there was a snafu in the system somewhere, and she got adopted out from under us.
Mm-hmm.
So they
not meant for you.
That's right. So my husband said he definitely wanted a girl dog because his thought process was, is if we had a boy dog and it was a small dog, it might be a little, Napoleon-y.
Okay, yeah.
So
have big dog syndrome.
Right,
yeah. Yes,
right.
Yes.
So, I mean, we had boy dogs before, and I just didn't see an issue, but I wanted a personality profile because I believe in when you adopt, it's forever.
Yes.
So we got a personality profile, talked to the foster, and Merlin was introduced to us, and I just thought he was the cutest little thing.
And was Merlin's name Merlin?
His name was Merlin.
Oh, interesting.
His name was Merlin. He was 1.5 years.
And what breeds are Merlin?
Chihuahua, Pug, and Beagle. So we call him a Chuggle.
A Chuggle. Chihuahua, Beagle, and Pug.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
So he is a funny, funny little man. But we saw his picture, and again, my husband had concerns, and we kind of
worked that through.
Yep. And we ended up bringing Merlin home the next month. So we lost Rue in December. We adopted Merlin the end of January, the following year.
No judgment at all of when you get your next pet. Mm-hmm. I want to make that very clear here.
Right.
Everybody's timeline is exactly the way it should be. There shouldn't be any judgment. I hear that all the time, and it makes me crazy. It's like,
I get it.
Not your business. Not your business anyways.
And when we did talk to Ginger again after we got Merlin, because there were some things that we wanted to know about Merlin, because, again, we didn't have a lot of information. He was a Texas dog. He was 1.5 years.
1.5 years. So, in 1.5 years, what was this dog exposed to?
Yeah.
What obstacles were coming your way, right? To deal with new personality. So
we talked to Ginger, and Ginger actually had a great conversation with both Merlin and Rue, and it sounds like they were kind of competing for, attention.
The microphone?
Yes. We had a spotlight hog.
So you had said when Rue was ill, that's when you started getting back into your Reiki.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I did.
And then Merlin comes along, and you're now thinking, what about your Reiki? Like, I'm getting back into this in a different way. Because now you freed up all this life with the corporate world.
Right. So it actually started with Rue because I was giving her more and more Reiki. But then it also went to my death doula client, and she was enjoying it and loving it. And I really kind of felt like I was coming home because I had learned Reiki from my grandmother in 1998.
Yep.
And it helped her through an awful lot.
Wonderful.
And I've helped other people through the years with it, but I just never considered a career because I was in the corporate world and I was working crazy, stupid hours, as
It was the hobby versus,
Exactly.
Maybe I can show up in the world in this role, right?
Right.
And I love that hidden gem behind something that was pretty devastating, a beloved animal passing away sickly, that there was this other layer waiting to happen, right? Everybody's timeline, these things show up when they're meant to be, and
yes,
that's pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. And Ginger said that Rue sent Merlin, and she wanted me to have a boy dog.
Yeah.
She was a princess, so I don't know.
A princess doesn't want to be replaced by a princess.
I think so, yeah.
I love that. So the lessons being taught there is what?
The lessons being taught is my authentic self is to be the healer that I was born to be.
Yes.
And that healer looks like a lot of different things. It looks like somebody that is a Reiki master.
Yes.
It looks like somebody that practices integrated energy therapy.
Yes.
It looks like somebody that's a doula.
Yes.
And it looks like somebody that just really wants to help people.
Yes. a servant to helping humanity.
Right. Yeah.
And creatures of all types. So let's talk about what is a death doula? A lot of folks don't know what that is.
Absolutely.
You're the second one that I've ever met. The first death doula I ever met was actually a pet death doula. Only did pets.
Okay.
So I was fascinated with this. So yeah, please.
So a death doula is somebody that works with hospice. So I am not a home health aide.
Right.
I am not a hospice worker. I'm not a social worker, but I am emotional support for the family and for the person that's dying. Yep. And what I do is I help them with their final plans. One of the first questions you ask somebody is what does a good death look like for you? And it really forces people to think about, what does that look like? Do I have any unfinished business that I need to take care of? You know, what do I need to do? What are my final wishes? Do I want to be cremated? Do I want a service? Do I want a celebration of life? There's a lot of different things to consider.
Do you translate that to pet parents? Have you ever thought about doing that?
I've never thought about doing it.
I feel like, and not to box you in a little, I'm not boxing you in at all with this, but there's some value of you having this part of you that could help a client. Let's say a client's coming in for Reiki and their beloved pet is not feeling well and they're going to pass away. Boy, what a wealth of comfort and resources you would bring with that. And I must say this, you know, when I first met Lin, we met through Wolfstock. She came in as a Reiki master and so lovingly gave demonstrations and did it right during the whole event. But when you speak to Lin, I hope it's coming through the airwaves. She's got such a comforting way about her that you just feel so relaxed and you can open up, that I just think you are such a not only master Reiki master, but you have this masterful way about you with this death doula equation, because it's a gift to be able to be with people in these moments. It's not for everybody.
No, it's definitely not.
I wouldn't be that person.
It's definitely not.
So no. Thank you for stepping up for that. My goodness, and noticing that's your path in life, because that's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I kind of hate to say I enjoy it, but I mean, it's nice to give families closure that their loved one had a good death. We followed the book that they laid out. You know, sometimes we do legacy work. What is your story and how do you want it told?
Yeah, it's an unbelievable satisfaction, I would think, for seeing someone go through the worst times with hopefully some comforting words to get them through it. I mean, that's priceless. It's priceless.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how has Rue Merlin helped you connect with customers and community? Right here we are. Right back again with this. They all interconnect with each other.
Well, you know, my work as a Reiki master brought me to you. And at that point, I knew I wanted to be a part of Wolfstock, and we didn't have a Reiki master at that time.
No, we didn't.
So it was such a pleasure and
was
joy.
Lovely, and I loved that it gave people the option to find a different modality for healing their pet.
Right.
Pet owners really struggle to find alternative options versus just the traditional medicine. So,
absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, so because of Wolfstock, you know, that was a determining force of, you know, I think I want to work a little bit more with animals. And then, of course, I met the crazy dog lady, Cindy.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hey, it takes one to know one. And I really enjoyed the way that the animals at Wolfstock came up and enjoyed their Reiki. I enjoyed the way people took pictures and posted on social media. People had nice things to say.
And a lot of people, it was their first time kind of being introduced to Reiki.
I think it was, yes.
Yeah, because it's not mainstream. It's mainstream in the areas where people are doing Reiki.
Right.
And then it's so un-mainstream.
I agree.
On the other side. It's fascinating to me that there's like these two very separate
I agree.
Roads, but they're right there.
Yes.
So yeah, it's lovely when we can get it together.
I agree. But that's really how it kind of came together is because of Wolfstock. And then I just kind of saw the response. I mean, I had a line. I was busy the entire event. I didn't even take a bathroom break.
Yeah, poor Lynn, she was out in the field, so she's like, I didn't even hear the band. I never took a bathroom break. So yeah, so she's coming back this year.
I am. I will be
she's
back.
got some things set up in place so she can have a little break. So yes,
I do.
Wonderful.
I do. I have my friends Erin and Bethany that will be joining me
lovely.
so that they can kind of help me manage and hand out dog bones.
Yeah, because the world needs more options for our pets. People are seeking this and wanting it so desperately, so it's lovely. You know, chiropractor, acupuncture, all the modalities.
Absolutely.
Pet parents are smart. They are more educated than they've ever been. They know there's more and they can be better, and they're willing to find it. So thank you.
They are.
Thank you. So if your pet could talk, what do you think they would say about your success story? All the way back to Rue. I'd love to hear. Rue, what you think would say? Merlin?
What would Rue say? Rue, again, she was my sassy little, she was a mini me. She was just a sassy little smarty pants. Funny little thing. And I think that she would look at me and cock her head. And we used to call her little ears, her little ponytails, because she'd just kind of cock her head and
be bopping.
And just kind of do that. And we're like, are you flipping your ponytails at me? I think she'd say something like, I'm proud of you, Mama, and it's about friggin' time.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like everybody says the same thing. It's so funny. Like, it's about time.
Yep.
Yes.
And as for Merlin, we touched on it a little bit before, but the animal communicator, Ginger, had said to me when she was talking to Merlin, she's talked to him again since being adopted, that Merlin views himself as my partner and that it is his job to help me.
Okay, so let's talk about
with Reiki.
What he's doing in the Reiki space with you.
Let's talk about it because it's actually kind of cool.
Yes.
Reiki. Merlin does consider himself a healer.
I love that.
Merlin is, he's done something that none of my other dogs have ever done, and that's just this constant wanting to be with me whenever I'm doing healing. Okay. So I have an office in my home that is dedicated to, it's my Zen den. It's dedicated to remote Reiki sessions. It's dedicated to meditation, reading, angelic work. It is my sanctuary where I go when I need peace and if I'm doing a remote Reiki treatment for someone. I've never had a dog that's wanted to go into that space, and I believe it's because before it was that space, it was my corporate office.
Boring.
When I was at home. Right.
Different energy.
I think the energy was much different.
Yeah, on the grind.
Much different.
Right.
So now that I'm not in the corporate world anymore, the room has a much different vibe to it, and he is very in tune with that vibe. And he did the coolest thing the other day, and I know we talked about this, and I want to share it with everybody because it's really cool. I think you should. I was doing a remote Reiki session for a client, and in my remote sessions, they take about an hour, just as an in-person session would take. Yeah. Everybody has different ways of doing Reiki. My way is very much like it is when you're in person. It's hand positions, but I use a proxy. So I was working on a man, and I had read in his energy that he needed some healing for his heart. And it turned out I was right on the money, he did. But it was interesting because when I was using my proxy and I had my hands on his heart chakra, which is right here, for those of you that don't know, I had my hands on his heart chakra. Merlin is always somebody that goes to his bed and he just lays quietly. And he's a very good boy when I'm doing remote Reiki. But this time I heard his little feet on the hardwood floor, and I thought to myself, oh no, does he have to go out? And I'm kind of in the middle of something. I can't really stop here. So I was like, okay, just, stay in the moment, stay doing what you're doing. And he literally moved my left hand off of the proxy so that my right hand was still. My hands were like this. He moved my left hand. And then he put his paw on my left hand, and I kept my right hand on the person's body.
Unbelievable.
So it was like Merlin detected that this person needed some extra heart healing.
Support.
And he came over to help. Merlin has also chosen oracle cards. And I sent you a picture, so that'll be included.
Yes. I love that so much.
Yep. So, yes, Merlin is very active in healing.
And he doesn't do that for every client.
No.
He comes over when he feels it's necessary.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dogs, I feel, are so in tune to energy. Let's face it, anytime you've ever met a dog and they don't like a person, when I was a kid, I used to always say, well, if my dog doesn't like you, I probably shouldn't like you either. And not knowing what I was saying, but that's all energy, right? It
absolutely
they're picking
is.
up on energy.
Absolutely. I wouldn't date guys if they didn't pass the dog check.
I love that, yeah.
Okay, great.
So now we're at the part of Spill the Treats, my favorite part. What's one fun, quirky, or surprising thing about your pet or your journey together? What do you want to spill the treats about?
Well, I want to spill the treats about this crazy quirk that Mr. Merlin has. I've never seen a dog do this before, and I think it's hysterically funny. And I'm kind of a little nervous about what happens. Now the weather's getting nice and the windows are going to start being open.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. So Merlin is a character. You'll see pictures of him. He looks like a 40-year-old man that's worried about his mortgage. I mean, he just has this old man look to him. But he likes his coffee in the morning. He has to have his coffee.
How does he have his coffee?
He has it with cream and sugar, thank you very much.
Oh, my goodness.
He does like the Chobani creamers. Yes.
We got to get Merlin together with Ollie because he's a coffee drinker, too.
Yes, he likes his coffee. But he has this funny, silly little habit, and it completely breaks me up. Every morning, he will come over to me, and he comes in my lap, and then he stretches out, so his front paws are all the way up, and his back paws, he just stretches himself out as long as he can get. And he'll bite my nose a little bit, and that means he wants butt smacks. So butt smacks is kind of an aggressive way to play, but it is a play.
Yeah.
And I just take my butt. Take my butt. I take my hands and I just kind of go, butt smacks! And I get really, really silly.
Yep.
And he loves it and he squirms around. And then when he's had enough, he'll sit down, tilt his head up and go,
oh, my goodness. Do you have any video of this dog doing this?
I don't. Because
you're busy butt smacking.
I'm doing butt smacks.
You got to get that on. You got to get that recorded because that's beautiful.
But it is the funniest thing, and he just loves his butt smacks, and it's pretty funny because he asks for them.
Yes. Sorry, Merlin. Everybody knows now.
Everybody knows about butt smacks. The secret's out.
I love that so much. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
So before we wrap up,
okay,
where can people find you and follow your work and all the goodies you're offering?
All the goodies I'm offering. Well, I don't currently have a website.
That's okay.
But I am on social media.
Yep.
I'm on Facebook and Instagram as LinSynergy. It's LinSynergy. And I just recreated my logo. I work at Emerald Heart Sanctuary, but I also am working in other places as well by appointment. So just DM me on the socials.
Yeah, because you do events, so that'll be on your socials as well. Will you be?
Yes.
What's your next event coming up? On Saturday, you're going to be
I'm going to be in Georgetown at Goats to Go.
Goats to Go, May 2nd.
May 2nd.
What's
on
the time?
Saturday. It is from 3 until 6.
Perfect.
And then, of course, we have Boop the Snoot.
Yes, Boop the Snoot. That is coming on June 6th. That is Havel's Wolfstock, Wicked Axe, and Sweet Paws Rescue.
Right.
It's an event where Wicked Axe and Havel's Wolfstock are coming together to fundraise for Sweet Paws Rescue. That's going to be a beautiful event. That is from 2 to 7 p.m. It goes from 2 to 11 p.m. at Wicked Axe.
It's going to be a fun time.
It's going to be fun. So thank you for joining us, and oh goodness, sharing your stories. It's beautiful, and I just appreciate you sharing all your stories.
Thank
you.
A
special thank you to HC Media for providing the studio space and supporting community storytelling. And follow insPAWed on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and now on Spotify and Apple Podcast. If these stories inspire you, I encourage you to apply to be considered to be interviewed, and you can find all that information on my platforms. Thank you for watching and supporting these stories, and I'll leave you with this question. How have you been insPAWed? Thank you so much. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.